Imagine working at nightclubs to jumping into the construction industry and building an entire business out of it. And you've only been in business for
5 years. This is our 5th year.
This is his 5th year. I'm here with Alex, owner of Woodbine Design And Build. Tell me a little bit about this project.
This project was supposed to be an addition, as you can see, and we've taken the whole house down. It's a 120-year-old house, and the framing was pretty bad. So we made our decision with the homeowners and the architect that in order to get them the product that they wanted, we were better off taking the house down and reframing it brand new from ground up.
What stages are you at right now on this project?
So right now we just started our rough-ins. We just finished framing. Our plumber's inside right now getting his water lines in. Then we'll be moving on to HVAC, electric, and going on through there to finish it out.
So I know people are wondering, because I said nightclub before, and then now you're a general contractor. How did you jump from one industry to this industry?
I got laid off during COVID, and then I didn't have too much to do during that summer. So I started making cornhole boards and selling them to friends and people. And I had a buddy of mine that told me at the end of the summer, why don't you just kind of roll with this and see what happens? So we went from cornhole boards to, we did some outdoor showers, and then the projects just slowly got bigger and bigger. And, 5 years later, here we are. It's kind of surreal to think about it. Like, most people would be like, how on earth did you manage to do that? But we've just been taking it day by day, and it's turned into something like way better than I would have ever imagined.
What was that first project that you ever did? What was it? What were you doing?
We did an outdoor shower in Seagirt.
Was that a little bit intimidating, knowing it being your first project?
It was for a friend of mine, so it was definitely a little, I guess, intimidating, not having too much experience, but we've kind of always just rolled with the punches and just figured it out. That's what I've learned. This industry is pretty much how you can adapt and learn. Like, nothing is the way that you think it's going to be. And if you don't figure out a way to make it work and make it work right, then you're never going to last.
And it's funny because things do happen. Unexpected things do happen, and you got to be ready for it. We were just talking about earlier how, that's kind of what happened on this project. So like you said, before it was an addition. When you're doing construction, you're just opening up a can of worms. You just never know what's going to happen. And tell me a little bit about what happened here.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be an addition. If you can see, like, this corner right here where the brick ends was where the original house was. And we were only supposed to go out and up. But when we started going through the house with the homeowners and the architects, there were some different stages that we had to go through. We found a lot of asbestos in the house that we had to abate. And then once we got to look at the framing, when the house was completely gutted, we saw that, it was pretty bad. It was all balloon framed, the floors were uneven, and the time and money that it would have cost to get the homeowner the product that they wanted wouldn't have been worth it. We decided together with them and the architect that it was best to take it down to the foundation and just go up from there. We got them, and they'll have a brand new house, taller ceilings. You know what? To this point, they're a lot happier.
They're a lot happier. How was that conversation? Those tough conversations that you have to have with homeowners.
We just try to be as open and honest as we can. We don't know everything going into a project like this, but we communicate that in the beginning during the bidding process and before we start that, hey, listen, odds are with the age of the house, there's going to be a lot of things that we don't know yet and that we run into, and we can only bid a project off of what we can see on the plans and what we can see when we walk in the house. So being open and honest with them up front about it, so that in a way they are expecting some things to happen, and when it comes, like, it's always a shock one way or the other, but it's a little less because they're expecting it.
Transparency is super important, especially in this industry. How would your closest friends describe your personality on and off your projects?
Definitely obsessive in a way. Like, they probably get sick and tired of hearing me talk about work and talk about the projects and what's going on. We have a really good relationship with all our subs, and you really got to screw up for me to get angry. We keep it, it's a good working environment. We want everybody to enjoy, working with us. That's how we have a good relationship. And, I think it transfers, off the job site with clients as well.
Now you do have to be obsessive with your business. I mean, it's your business, right? So, I mean, I'm the same way. This is why even we decided to do this, because I'm like, this is nothing to benefit from. It's just doing a great collaboration with another great builder in the area. And that's why we're here. I mean, that's why we even connected. I saw him do some videos on social media. I was like, okay, he'll get on camera. Let me see if he'll talk about the business and share some knowledge to you guys. I have some more questions here. Yeah. What are some non-construction passions that influence how you build?
I would say that's definitely an inspiration. Talking to guys that I've met through my time in this industry that have been in it a while, and seeing the product that they put out, I would say that's an inspiration. They stand by their work. Part of the reason I guess I kind of got into this was you hear all the horror stories about contractors.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's why I got into
money
this.
And they ran away, or they did a shitty job and they don't answer the phone. You could say that's an inspiration in a way. I don't know if it's a passion outside of work, but I figured when I started, what if somebody just answered the phone and communicated and did all these little things that seem to get overlooked and talked about so much in the industry. Obviously, you only hear about the bad. You don't always hear about the good, right? So there's plenty of guys that do an incredible job and put out an incredible product, but there's also so many guys on the other end. So I feel like if you can mimic those guys that put out that incredible product, you're going to go pretty far in this industry.
What's some of the best advice you've gotten from these people that have been in this industry?
Be honest. It's easy when somebody's not here all the time, right? The homeowner's not in this house. It's super easy for me if I wanted, I could try to cover something up, but that's not the product that we're trying to do. That's not the kind of person I am. That's not the kind of company that we are. And we don't have people that work for this company that do that. So are there people that do it? I'm sure there are. But, being open and honest is definitely the best piece, and stand by your work. And I wouldn't want to put my name on something that I knew that we didn't do, perfectly right or the best that we could.
You mentioned about being obsessive of your work, of your business. That's what it takes, is, being a part of every part of the process, loving what you do, and being excited about it. Being excited that you get to do this every single day, right? Yeah. How do you deal with high stress days?
I just kind of power through it, to be completely honest. It's just, I don't know. There's not really much to do. You just kind of got to see the shit and just keep pushing forward. It'll get better at the end of the day, maybe, or who knows? Tomorrow could be even worse. So that's kind of really how we just roll with it. Every day is something new. You got to just roll with the punches and figure it out. You can't get
and be ready for them.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like yesterday's a perfect example. Just driving around to all different jobs all day, and I'm texting the guy, one of our guys, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm getting nothing done today. But things are getting done, but it's just, it's different levels of stress for different projects, different things going on.
What keeps you grounded?
I got clients I got to get jobs done for. I got bills to pay. People count on me at the end of the day. Just other guys have a family. I don't have a family, but my fiance, the guys that work for me, and the clients that trust and hire us. They're expecting a product out of us. Our guys are expecting work and stuff to keep them busy. So that's what keeps us grounded and going forward. Hard work, and it pays off. It's not a quick thing, but slowly it pays off.
And I think it's important to just have high standards for yourself personally, because it also trickles down into your business to all right, we got to do what we have to do today. Mm-hmm. That's it. As a premium general contractor, how do you choose your subcontractors?
So everybody that we work with comes from a referral from another one of our subs.
Okay.
Most of our subs predominantly work for builders in new construction. We do a lot of renovations, so we are probably one of the few people that they work for that do renovations. But everybody comes from a referral. If they work for somebody that puts out $5, $6, $7 million homes, 10, 12 homes a year, and they're good enough for them, odds are they're probably, I'm willing to work with them. We don't just pick up the phone and call a guy and go for the lowest bid. We build a relationship. If they have a relationship with the other subs that are on site, that helps us out, because they talk outside of work on what's going on the job. Hey, by the way, I ran my water lines here. You can't you can't put something there. Like, it helps us out in the long run. It may take a little extra time getting that guy because they're probably busy because they're good. So it may slow the project down a little bit, maybe a week or two here and there. But, in the long run, it alleviates a lot of stress for me, for the client, and it makes the process a lot smoother at the end of the day.
So you're willing to pay for quality?
Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I mean, listen, if they are the lowest bid, but I know that they're good quality, then that's a different story. But, we've had houses that we've bid on and people are like, oh, so are these like the best prices that you can get? Are these the lowest prices? Like, you don't want that. I'm open and honest with clients. Like, listen, these are the prices. These are our guys that we work with. These are the relationships that we have. This is the price. Like, we don't shop our guys. They show up when they're supposed to show up. They stick to their timelines. They do what they're supposed to do. And we don't have any issues. They're good with our clients. And that's all you can ask for at the end of the day.
Creates a lot of peace of mind too.
Totally. As a GC, doing projects like this, and like we just started getting into building. So not having 40 years of experience building, like having guys that do this day in and day out and take pride in their work, like makes my life a lot easier, especially when we have questions or the clients have questions. If I'm not here, like they don't mind answering the question for the clients. They're not like, oh, get out of here. You can't be here. Like we don't have that. It's part of that premium price. You get a premium quality and a premium experience.
Yeah. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So everybody has to be strong on the team.
Absolutely.
Right? How has social media been going for your business?
It's been going, I mean, starting out, it was a lot of just me, before and after photos and just kind of whatever, it is what it is.
What made you get on camera?
You know what? I saw like all these other guys are doing it. So you know what? At some point you got to do it. But yeah, I mean, I've had my fiance start doing it for us now, and people even ask me, they're like, do you do your own social media? And I'm like, God, no. Like, you need that professional touch or that female touch in a way, if it's not somebody that does it day in and day out as they're living.
Yeah, it's a whole nother job, especially when you want to be strategic with it and you want to reach your target audience. You want to reach a wider audience and build trust on social media and build that trust on your online presence. People have to stop being afraid of the criticism that comes on social media, because regardless, you can't control the internet. You don't even want to control the internet. You want to control your business, do what you have to do, and build it. What's one personal habit that's made a big impact on your business growth?
I would say discipline and just kind of like the ability to just show up every day and just put in the work that needs to be done. I'm on site. I don't sit in the office all day. Like, we don't do we do some stuff in house. Like, we are hands on sometimes, but being able to get up every day, even when it's like it sucks and I'm tired, and I was here till 6:30 the other night. Like, the homeowner came home from work at 5:30 just to check in, and I was inside, looking at the plans, double checking things, and then getting up the next day and doing paperwork in the morning and sending emails. Like, nobody's coming to save you. You got to get up and do it. So I think that's definitely been, a strong point to us going this far. Just being able to, just stay disciplined and just willing to do the extra work.
Mm-hmm. Always have to be disciplined. And even when you're feeling like you don't want to be disciplined, you still have to go and still do it. Because again, like you said, nobody's going to do it for you. When was the last time you truly stepped out of your comfort zone doing this?
Yeah, definitely. I guess this in a way, I mean, we've done bigger scale projects like whole home renovations and smaller additions and stuff like that prior. And then this, being originally being an addition was like, yeah, all right, okay, cool, no problem. And then, it morphing into something completely different was, there's days where early on when I'm looking at the plans, I'm like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? Like, what in the, but it gets easier. I think that, having good relationships with people in this business that have been in it for a long time is a key, and nobody knows everything. So being willing to ask questions and stuff like that, like, And that also goes back to having good subs, guys that know their trade and they know what they need to do. If there's something that I may not necessarily know, like, they know it. They're supposed to know it. And if I have a question about it, like, they're going to educate me on it so that now I know it going forward. Everybody starts somewhere. I'm not going to sit here and like lie that like, yeah, I know how to do this like ground up. I mean, you have a theory and you have an idea of how it works, but I call friends of mine all the time. Anytime I have a question, hey, can you come by? Let's walk through. Like, what do you think? What's the best way to tackle this? Like, how do we move forward with this? Whatever. And if they're really good and they're good guys in the industry, like, they love seeing younger guys come in. People say it's dying, and it definitely in a way is. Like, there's a huge age gap. I don't see anybody my age doing this. I feel like most of the builders in this area have been in it for 20, 30 years.
That is true.
If not longer. Granted, it's hard. You don't just break into it and people just start giving you, jobs like this and bigger, but you have to earn the trust and kind of work your way up.
And it feels good to have those relationships with other builders that's been in it for 20 years, because you have to be humble sometimes to ask those questions and say, I really don't know what's going on. Last question, and then we wrap this up. How do you want to be remembered?
Somebody that stands by their word, does quality work. If you don't have your word, you don't have anything. So if I say I'm going to do something for a client, like, we're going to do it. If something goes wrong, we don't run and hide. Like, we tackle it head on, and whatever it is, it is. We've had projects in the past that, maybe something didn't go right and the client didn't want it, and we give them some options. And if the option is to do it all over again, like, then that's what it is.
Love it. I really do appreciate it, Alex, for joining us and being a part of the Top Tier Contractors YouTube channel. I'm happy to see what you create from this project and every other project that you do here on out. Where can people find you if they need a premium general contractor?
So you can find us on Instagram, or if you drive by one of our job sites and see our sign, maybe if you see our...
the area that you usually serve.
We service Monmouth County and Ocean County. We might dabble outside depending on the size of the project, but primarily we're in this area.
What's the phone number just in case they want to contact you?
732-610-3699.
Again, if you guys need a premium general contractor, we got Alex here from Woodbine Design and Build. We got a lot more coming to this channel. I want you to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions for Alex or for any other contractor out there, put them in the comment and share this video with another contractor. Hopefully one day we can help you brand your business.